You literally shocked the NFL last week. You beat a team that you haven't beat in 10 years, and now it is imperative that you not only beat the Denver Broncos, but you absolutely crush them. Cue the intro.
The city of the dream team, Hakeem, Turing, Beyonce, yeah, me. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block made a hot spill.
Hello everybody, welcome back to 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calavillo, and the Houston Texans are playing the Denver Broncos this Sunday. It's in Houston, they're coming over here, and what I think is a pretty big game for the Houston Texans, and here's why I say that. Every big game that the Houston Texans play, the next game, they tend to not do so great. For example, Monday Night Football against the Saints, you lose on a last-second field goal, but you played great. The next week against the Jaguars, you barely put up 13 points. You do great against LA. You go to LA, you beat Phillip Rivers, you beat a very good Chargers team at that time, and then you lose to the Panthers and you can't even score a touchdown. Then you beat the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a big win, and then you come back and lose to the Colts. You blow out the Jaguars in London, and then you get blown out against the Baltimore Ravens. And you just beat a team, like I said, that you haven't beat in 10 years. A lot of people are surprisingly picking the Texans to either lose or barely win this game. And I kind of understand why, right? Because it's been a routine for the Houston Texans to play a pretty good game and then look lost on offense, lost in discipline. Defense is going to be absolutely garbage. But here's why I say that won't happen. You know, I have the Houston Texans just absolutely blowing out the Denver Broncos. And here's why. Because when you take a look at the Denver Broncos, the quarterback is rookie quarterback Drew Lock on his second start. Yes, I know we don't have a lot of film on Drew Lock, but Romeo Crennel is great against rookie quarterbacks. The only two to beat him are Jacoby Brissett and Kyle Allen. Drew Lock, I think, is not a good quarterback. I didn't like him in college, and I certainly don't like him now. He doesn't have that much help. I mean, besides his outstanding wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, who is absolutely a beast. You know, his running backs are really helping him out. You know, he has Worst Freeman. He has Phillip Lindsay, who haven't really done that much this season compared to last season when they were both absolutely phenomenal. The Denver Broncos offense is just not good at all. I don't see anything, you know, besides Cortland Sutton who could hurt this team. The coaching staff is not good for the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have been so bad, you know, ever since they won the Super Bowl. And, you know, they honestly, they had to fire John Elway. For those of you who don't know, John Elway is their GM. He is managing stuff for the Denver Broncos, and he has done an absolute horrible job. And here's why I say that. You know, you knew that Peyton Manning wasn't going to be a long-term situation. And yet you just rode him until he was absolutely at his end, you know, when he won that Super Bowl, and you've done nothing since then. You haven't got a quarterback. You signed Case Keenum, that didn't work out. You trade for Joe Flacco, that didn't work out. And it's because John Elway just refuses to make a move for quarterback, and that's why I think that the Denver Broncos need to absolutely fire him. On the defensive side for the Denver Broncos, they're not that much better. Von Miller is not going to play the game because of the NCL tear. I can't blame him. Hey, he's in a business mode right now. And what I mean by business mode is like, you know, the Denver Broncos, they're not going anywhere. You know, they're not going to the postseason. So why even play like a star caliber like Von Miller? You know, why even play? Just sit out the rest of the season, and hopefully you get traded, or when free agency comes, you can definitely leave. The only good player on this Denver Broncos defense is Chris Harris, who is going to be shadowing DeAndre Hopkins. But, you know, DeAndre Hopkins last game had a big game against Stephon Gilmore, and Chris Harris, as good as he is Stephon Gilmore. So I'm looking for a big game for these Houston Texans wide receivers, you know, Hopkins, Fuller, Stills. I just think they're going to absolutely go complete bonkers on this Denver Broncos defense. This game is huge for the Houston Texans. Like I said, a lot of people think that we're going to be hungover over this Patriots win, and we're going to absolutely play like, you know, horrible. We cannot let that happen. Why? Because if we do play into that role that everybody thinks that we're going to be, and if we do barely win this game by a field goal, or lose, you know, the narrative is going to be the same as nobody's going to take us serious. Everybody's going to say, well, you know, they're good one game and they're horrible the next game. You know, the Texans right now, they have this streak going on that, hey, they win two, they lose one. They win two, then we lose one. So hopefully, like, we break that pattern this Sunday, and it's going to rely honestly on Deshaun Watson. You know, Deshaun Watson has been so spectacular. He is creeping back into the MVP race. He lost it against the Baltimore Ravens, but he is getting it back after this huge win against the Broncos. And what better way just to blow out the Denver Broncos? I'm talking about scores like 35-10, 45-14, somewhere you need to absolutely destroy this Broncos team and just make a statement in the NFL saying that, hey, the Houston Texans are not a fluke and they're going to be here to stay for the rest of the season and for the rest of the upcoming years. One good thing is that you are getting Gareon Conley back, who has been an absolute stud since he's been here after being traded for the Oakland Raiders. Bradley Roby's getting healthier, which is phenomenal. He had a great game last week. You know, you're pretty much getting everybody back, offense and on defense, minus Titus Howard. And it's special. Why? Because last week against the Patriots, we finally saw a team that is competitive, a Houston Texans team that could potentially make a deep run in the playoffs. And we got to keep it going. You know, Bill Byrne has to just, you know, his game plan needs to be getting stronger every single week, you know, to fight for potentially a number one, number two seed. Why? Because the Houston Texans are still in play for a first round bye. We just need a couple teams to lose. It's gonna be hard. You know, that Monday Night Football game looks like it's coming back to bite us in the butt. But hey, you know, all we have to do is just keep on winning, and that's what I think the Houston Texans are gonna win. My final score prediction is 35-10 Houston Texans. I think Deshaun Watson goes off. I think our running backs go off. I think everybody goes off. Surprise player who I think is going to have a great game is Jordan Thomas. Jordan Thomas coming back from injury. You know, he's played a couple snaps, but I think he's going to make a huge difference this game. I don't know why, but hey, I woke up this morning and I said, you know what? Jordan Thomas is going to catch a couple touchdowns this game. But let me know what you guys think. Am I overlooking the Denver Broncos, or do the Broncos really have a good chance of beating the Houston Texans? I say no. I think they're absolute garbage. But hey, we are 8-4. We're number 3 in the AFC, but we are legit 8-4, a legit 8-4. And people need to be scared of this Houston Texans team. Why? Because we figured it out. We figured out a way to be good defenses, and all we have to do is just keep the consistency up. If the Houston Texans keep the consistency up, there is nobody going to be able to stop them. You guys have a blessed day.